a truly explosive day in the wacky world we are calling 2020. Explosive is the best and most accurate word I can use to describe it. Do not go anywhere. You guys are going to want to hear what I have to say today. There is a lot going on, and there are a lot of dots that we need to connect today. I'm Jared. This is RedRacer Video. I'm a former car vlogger. Now I'm an independent citizen journalist. Thanks to you, the viewers. Your donations through Patreon, PayPal, and Venmo make this possible. I left work. This is now my work. You are making this possible with your donations. Thank you everyone so much who has done so. As you watch this video, only if you see value, consider supporting the channel at one of the 3 links down below. Another way you can support the channel and support our nation and this world, if you like the shirt that I'm wearing, it says unmask, to reveal the true nature of expose. That is the definition. These are my shirts. I make them to support and help supplement the income to keep the wheels on so that I can continue to do this. If you like this shirt or one in a different color, RedRacerVideo.com. There will also be links in the description for that. So today, guys, let's jump right into it. I feel like I would be doing you all a great disservice by not starting off with the massive explosion today in Lebanon. There was another massive explosion, or they called that a huge explosion in China. We're going to dig into that also. But I want to start off with the Lebanon thing. So we've been told for quite a while now, Q's been telling us this. I think the writing's on the wall, and whether or not you followed Q or not, if you're just paying attention and your eyes are open and your brain functions, you could see that our war that we're in is far from over. The entire globe is in this battle. People in every country on this globe are protesting for freedom right now and fighting their governments. We are not the only one, okay? We've been told they're going to do everything in their power to control this, to control the narrative, to push fear. We know false flags are something that they do. I won't even get into all of the false flags that we already know about because it would probably lead to this video being demonetized. But like clockwork, after we've been told these things were coming and that we all needed to be careful and it was going to be a big week and it's going to be a big day, we get an explosion in Lebanon. Lebanon, this just so happens, this explosion, also called an attack by our president. We'll get into that in a minute. This explosion just so happened to be right next to or right near the Central Bank of Lebanon. Another thing worth noting is that today, the same day as the explosion, the foreign minister of Lebanon resigned. He put his resignation into the prime minister of Lebanon. So that's a little weird, right? Little coinky dink, dude resigns, big explosion goes off. For those that haven't seen the explosion, at RedRacer Video on Instagram, that's also linked down in the description. Go follow me. Also follow my friends in the bakery, BAQERY, the bakery, very solid people, all guided by their hearts and full of excellent information. We all had a really good talk about this today, dove into things just a little bit, maybe not a really good talk, but it was chatted about, it was talked about. I feel like there's a lot of people on the same page about things, and then our president went on TV tonight and even cemented things even further. President Trump was going on to talk about the coronavirus, essentially, is what I think the press conference was about. 5 words into this, he said, we want to send our condolences or our deepest regrets or whatever it is to the people of Lebanon. And then he proceeded to say they had an attack today and just kept going. Mind you, the TV and the news, all the media outlets today were trying to tell us it was a fireworks factory that went off, and that there was 10 or 15 people killed, something like that. All throughout the day today, I was talking with my friends and saying there's no way on earth only 10 people died. That was like an atomic bomb. That was like a nuclear freaking bomb went off. It was bad. There's so many different angles. And again, at RedRacer Video on Instagram, I've posted a lot of it. It looks like a munitions facility. It does. QAnon Obi-Wan Joe, if you guys don't know him, he's phenomenal. Dude was in the military, in the Marines, very, very smart, pays attention to the things that are going on. And he said it's an ordnance, meaning basically it's like a munitions facility or a munition silo, just based on the size of the explosion. And then when our president says they were attacked, it's really starting to look like, shocker, Our mainstream media isn't being honest with us about this one. Can't believe it. Have they ever done that to us? Imagine that. So at the end of this, President Trump opens it up to questions. One of the reporters said, "Excuse me, President, did I hear you right? Did you say that Lebanon was attacked?" And Donald Trump didn't clam up at all. He said, "That is absolutely correct." You know, I'm not quoting him here, but he said, "Yes, my generals know more about this than I do, but my great generals and I have spoken. And based on the explosion and things, that it looks like, yes, they think that it was an attack." Made no mistake, minced no words, Lebanon was attacked. Hours after, the mainstream media and everyone has tried to lie to everybody and tell us that it was not an attack, it was a fireworks facility that blew up. In the videos that you can watch, there is a fire. There is something burning, and you do see some like little sparks and things going off inside. They don't look like fireworks. And like QAnon Obi-Wan Joe, actually I can't remember if it was him or if it was somebody else in one of the chats I was in, but they said those don't look like fireworks going off. They look like warheads going off. And when you listen to the video, again, at RedRacer Video on Instagram, when you listen to it, those aren't fireworks going off. There's something much bigger than fireworks going off in that building. But then when the explosion hits, that's not like there was a fire and there was an explosion. It looks like a nuclear warhead went off. It looks like there was a bomb. And to anybody else out there, I'm not an explosives expert. I know absolutely dick about explosives. But I've watched that video and I've watched it now from multiple angles. There was a bomb. So maybe they didn't set it off. Maybe there was a bomb in there and it lit on fire or whatever. But again, based on President Trump and our generals saying it's an attack and the climate of the world and the fact that it was in Israel or in Lebanon and it was right next to the Central Bank of Lebanon. And we've been told that there's false flag attacks and things planned and coming. That's what this was. This was either a false flag attack or it was something. It was a way for people to divert attention off of the news, keep us from talking about the fact that, again, some more news that came out today, Ghislaine Maxwell and all the stuff's coming out in that case left and right. They are trying over and over and over to stop stuff from coming out. And the judge just keeps telling them, nope, that's coming out. It's already been unsealed over here. We're letting it out. So guys, eyes wide. Don't let these things take your attention everywhere else, because that is absolutely what I think it's a part of. They're either destroying evidence, trying to divert our attention, or all of the above. They're trying to do probably all of the above. But keep your eyes on the prize, and remember, when there's big things happening everywhere else, there is absolutely other things happening that they are just trying to keep us from watching, okay? Another thing that happened today. So today, whatever happened today that they were trying to hide from us must have been pretty big, because today it was so big that they set off 2 false flag attacks, or 2 attacks, or 2 bombs, or 2, whatever you want to call the things that happened. There was another place, and if you were to guess one more place in the entire world that there may have been a bomb that went off today, if you were to guess one more place that maybe they would want to destroy a bunch of evidence or set off another false flag event to detract or make it hard for people to investigate things, or make it hard for people to come investigate a virology lab where you released a virus, where do you think that might be? Oh, that's right, Wuhan. That's right, Wuhan, China had a huge explosion in a chemical factory today. On the same day that there was a massive attack in Lebanon, in a munitions silo is what it looked like. Same day, they're blowing stuff and burning stuff up in Wuhan. Coinky dink, right? There's no way that they're trying to burn up stuff and trying to burn evidence or trying to kill people or trying to control the narrative or trying to keep news off of stuff. No way, right? It's just a coincidence that Wuhan, China had a chemical lab explode today. Okay. Going back to the Lebanon bomb for one more second, it looked like a nuclear bomb went off. That's just what happened. Let's see, what else was I going to tell you guys? So one more note here. False flag attacks, clogging up the news cycle, or destroying evidence. Those are the 3 things that I'm convinced this is all part of. Again, worth noting, don't forget that the Lebanese Prime Minister submitted his resignation today to the Lebanese Foreign Minister submitted his resignation to the Lebanese Prime Minister. Also very, very notable on a day where they have an explosion like that. Folks, I've said this before, and I'm gonna kind of beat on something here for a minute. We live in an illusion. We have lived in an illusion since TVs went into our homes. A whole nother video, a whole nother day, MK Ultra, CIA, mind control, echo chamber tactics, look all those things up. But we have lived in an illusion since TVs entered our homes. And right now they are struggling each and every day to control the narrative and keep this country in fear. They told us it was going to be 2 weeks to slow this spread. We're going on 4 months. And now they're trying to lock us down even more. And now they want us to wear goggles on top of our masks. Why did Fauci say that? Like I said in my last video, I think that was Fauci's way of sending out the signal that it's time for the next round of attacks. Put on your masks, put on your goggles. That'll keep you safe from tear gas. That'll keep you safe from being seen. And let's go after it. We got to go after them. I feel like that was Calms. Many of the other people I follow feel like it was Calms. That's not my original idea, but I concur. I do concur. They keep spreading the fear by telling us about the spike in cases. Have you guys seen that? And I'm watching, no offense, well, some offense. I keep watching these dummies wearing masks and goggles and more protection and wearing them in their cars, and it's astounding, but it's working. They keep telling us we have this huge spike in cases. We're seeing this huge spike in cases. Well, no duh. We test 6 times more people than the next closest country. Yeah, we have a spike in cases. We should have more cases. We test more people. This is simple. But let's keep going. I said that we test 6 times more. The next closest country is India, and they've tested like 11 million people. We've tested like 60-something million, almost 66 or 67 million people, I think. In the press conference today, I was listening to reporters badger Kaylee and say that the president keeps saying we got to put the kids back in school, but we're not doing enough to stop this virus. We still have to wait on test results. We have to wait 5, 7, or 15 minutes for most of these test results, and they're complaining that's not fast enough. They try so hard to tie us up in all the minutia and stupid stuff. They're just trying to keep us from being productive. They're just trying to keep our president from actually doing the things that he needs to do, which is tear their lives apart and go after them in court like we're doing. Cases, the president went on in his thing today to say some big things, and I want to hit on a couple of these points because I think a lot of you people out there haven't heard these because these are numbers that I hadn't heard, and it's by design. The media never tells us this stuff. Right now, cases are declining. So they're pushing on the news. We just keep seeing a spike. We just keep seeing more and more cases. They just keep going up because we just keep testing more people. But what they're not telling you, cases are actually declining in 70% of the jurisdictions in the United States. So in 7 out of 10 U.S. cities, basically, cases are declining. Weird, huh? But that's not what they're telling us. They just keep telling us that cases are going up. Because again, they're just manipulating a statistic. Yeah, we keep finding more cases because we're testing an unreal amount of people. Back when, was it swine flu or H1N1 or whatever, Barack Obama was president, they actually stopped testing people during that because they wanted to keep the case count down. The people were freaking out and they needed to stop them. So they actually stopped testing people. They started testing less people to make the numbers look better. And I'm not even attacking them for it because everybody was getting herd immunity. But they're doing the opposite here. Even though people are getting better, even though we are developing herd immunity, they're just doing everything they can to show us the one little statistic that will scare us. So again, back to what I was saying. 7 out of 10 cities are seeing a decline in cases. 11 out of the 13 states that are above 10%, they have actually seen the cases decline since July. So the most affected places, the city states with over 10%, meaning they have the highest group of infected people, they've been seeing their cases go backwards since July. So we're going on like 5 weeks now of cases declining. Again, numbers they're not going to tell you. And then, again, let's go back to some other things they're doing just to push fear, okay? Real quick, I'm not going to beat this dead horse because I've beat it in many other videos. We count people in our death tolls that die in car accidents and motorcycle accidents and weird... If you die of anything, They're probably going to say you died of COVID. This isn't me making it up. It happens. It happens all over the country. You guys have all seen it. I have a personal friend who can show me on her release papers from when she was in a hospital a little while ago that even though they told her she was negative for COVID, in her paperwork, they snuck right into the middle. We think that these symptoms could be caused by COVID. They're doing that kind of stuff everywhere. They test people that are asymptomatic. We're going out and just testing, just to test. We're not even testing people because they're sick. We're just testing to test. So you can have it. You could test positive, so meaning the virus is in you. You have it, you carry it, but you're not symptomatic. You never were symptomatic. You beat it already. You've already got the antibodies, or you're just never going to adversely react to it. But you'll be counted in that number that they're using to push this whole thing. This is all part of a unison thing that they're doing. It's all part of a master plan. They're pushing in mail-in votes in unison at the same time as they're trying to convince us that the false flag flu is still a thing. It is a multifaceted approach to try and let them steal an election through the mail. And to everyone out there who's going to jump in real quick and say, well, yeah, but Trump said that they should vote in Florida, that it's clean. I believe that it is. If he said that, there's a reason. The dude's not flipping. He's not now ushering in New World Order, and he's just finally deceiving us like everybody wants to try and convince us. If there's a reason he's saying that, it's on purpose. They're either going to watch them cheat and bust them, or they know how they were going to cheat and they fixed it already. But I assure you, he's not just turning on us now and going to give the country up. For what it's worth, I have mentally prepared myself for a scenario where they would allow the Democrats to maybe steal the election through the mail to show us that they would do it. I pray that that's not what's happening, but I have mentally prepared myself for such. Again, going back to the fact that this is all multifaceted, there's a few more things I want to say here and then we're closing, we're done, okay? They are hiding the support for Trump. You guys all saw, and if you didn't see, it's because you were living under a rock. President Trump's rallies were unreal. Tens of thousands of people and thousands of people camped outside. Joe Biden and all of the Democratic candidates could not even fill up a cultural hall in a library. That happened time after time after time after time. They could not keep letting you and I see on TV how much support President Trump had. That plays into all of this. That's why they shut the economy down. That's why they shut the country down. That's why 2 weeks to slow the spread has turned into 4 months. And now they want to turn it into 6 months or 7 months because they cannot let everybody come out, especially now. You saw his rallies before. Imagine how many people are going to be crowding those things now. So they had to hide that. They had to hide those rallies. How do you do that? Make people stay inside. Make people close the rallies down. Don't even let them come out for rallies. They lied to us about the polls. There are people that still are worried because the polls are telling us Joe Biden's leading. I, for the life of me, cannot understand how any functional-minded human could listen to a sentence out of Joe Biden's mouth and think that he could run a troop of, I almost said a troop of Girl Scouts, but we know how that would end. That would end badly for those Girl Scouts. I don't want to use that example. Joe Biden can't run anything, dude. Okay, he just can't. He can't. He obviously could run money laundering schemes and very clever ways to do very, very bad things, but the guy cannot beat Donald Trump. So to anyone who says that those polls have any validity, let me remind you that they told us from day one and from the jump in 2016 that Donald Trump was going to lose that election. They're keeping schools closed. That is all part of them keeping the economy shut down. They're trying to make it hard on American families to work. They're trying to make us rely on the government. They want us to need them so that they can send us those checks that save us. They need that. They need us focused on all of the slavery of the past and tearing down all of the monuments of the past. They need us focused on slavery of old to keep us from paying attention to the modern day slavery that is being exposed by the minute. The human trafficking, The ancient human trafficking cult that Donald Trump talked about in a presser a month or two ago that not one person in the media since then has asked one question about. Not one person asked him, Donald Trump, Mr. President, what are you talking about human trafficking? And I'm sorry, we're at war with it? Guys, I'm going to name this video, Hear No Evil, See No Evil, Speak No Evil. They're trying to keep us as dumb as we can, and we are being lied to. We live in an illusion. Stick with me. Do not lose faith because Dylan Wheeler sold out. I was nice to him in my video yesterday. I sent the guy support. I told him I'm here if you need me. How did he repay that favor? By unfollowing me and, from as far as I can tell, blocking me on Instagram. And he didn't just do it to me. He did it to a lot of people who thought of him as a friend. I'm okay with dude walking away from the movement because his heart was bothering him or he didn't know where he was at. That I'm okay with. But the things he has done since then make him look very suspect. I'll let you guys decide what's going on with that. Thank you everyone who continues to support me. Yes, I caught flack off of people yesterday over Dylan and over the fact that he's a patron and that people have been paying him and helping him, supporting him. I did catch some flack over that. I'm not going to apologize for asking you guys to support me. I know where my heart is at, and I know I'm trying to help all of us and our kids live the most amazing lives anyone's ever lived. If you want to help me with that, stick with me. Stick in with the channel. If you love the shirt, RedRacerVideo.com. Link in the description. I love you all. Thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow, Red Racer Video. Goodbye.